You guys are in for a treat today. I'm telling you, it's Thursday, and I can tell you that Brett is on one today. And I can't wait because Roxy's here, Brett's here, we're all here. And we'll talk a little bit more. We know that Mike and I talked about Mission Impossible on yesterday's show. Roxy and I will talk a little bit more about it. We'll talk about the Indiana Jones kind of debacle. And then there's some other things going on, man, in the news. You got some TV picks that Roxy will be talking about. I'm so curious if Roxy's going to bring up Silo, because everybody that I know is telling me to watch this show Silo, how great it is, and it's the best show on TV right now. And yet I have not heard Roxy even peep about it. But we'll see. Killers of the Flower Moon, I didn't check out the trailer yet, but I'm waiting. But I'm probably going to have to dive in there and check it out. I don't know. Fox was talking about Independence Day 2 and why it was such a stink bomb. And then we'll actually get into real aliens, because I went into I went into this report. I don't know if you guys saw this thing about it happened in Vegas in like April. The thing that happened in Vegas with the aliens. It's like, if you don't believe that this shit is going down, I don't know what to tell you. Then you're my wife, because there's aliens among us, and I'll talk about that. Have you heard about this story yet? This Vegas story?
No.
Okay, can't wait to tell you.
Sometimes I think I'm your wife because I don't fuck you.
I'm telling you, man, you got no idea what's about to happen in this show. You have no idea what's about to happen. Oh yeah, and following that is great transition. Benedict Cumberbatch is coming back for Doctor Strange. Ooh. So there's Last of Us Part 3 story rumors that we'll talk about, and that's it. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, but it's going to be pretty crazy. Join us on the show today, and if you haven't already done it, everybody, Capes and Cowls. That's right. Issue 1. It is on the website now. Now, the way this works is, if you're $10 and up, you get issue 1, issue 2. As they keep coming out, you'll get it. But if you want to get it a la carte, you can do it. You can get it the digital, either a la carte or a physical copy. And every time you do on the a la carte option, a percentage of that goes to the artist, Wicked Art. So make sure you go on over there, check it out. It's on the site right now. It's thekristianharloff.com. Speaking of which, shoes and beef and shoes. They're alive, and they're on the website. So you can also check them out. $10 and up tier, you'll get the first episode of Shoes and Beef. People are really enjoying it. We're appreciating it. So go and check that out as well. Katie Sackhoff's show, the episode with Bryce Dallas Howard, is live on her channel now. It's also on every podcast app available. We're locking down some great guests on that show, man. I mean, we locked down 2 more today that you're going to be very excited about. So make sure you check that out. All right, let's get into it. It's the big thing. It's me, it's Roxy, and it's Crazy Man Brett. Let's do it. What up, everybody? Welcome back. Big thing. Thursday. Now, I don't know if this is going to be good luck or bad luck that Brett's back, but Roxy, last week, you and I together did around 30,000 views alone.
I saw that.
So I'm wondering if Brett's going to ruin it.
Yeah.
He's back.
I ruined everything.
No beard. No beard. Nice to have you back, Brett. So you're in a mood today, huh?
Oh, just fun. I'm excited to be back. I missed you guys a lot.
No, missed you too, buddy.
Yeah.
It's nice to have you back. Roxy, did you miss Brett?
It did.
Nice. I think that's authentic.
No, I did.
I did, yeah.
But I also I like it all the ways.
Brett, hold back.
Oh,
I like the hosting of the show with
All
the
the
ways.
ways.
I love when
Much
Brett's here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love doing it, the 2 of us. I
Yeah.
love the 3 of us. I love when we do the 2 of us. I love the show.
You love the show.
I love the show.
How was New York, Brett?
Show
Tell
me
us
the
about
show.
it.
New York City, the city that should actually sleep sometimes, I think.
Sometimes? Why is that?
Did you
I don't
party
know.
hardy?
I didn't. I did some partying, but I also did a lot of working, and it was rainy a lot, and there was a lot of swamp ass going on. But yeah, it was a long trip. It was a long trip.
Yes, that's a lot. That's a lot.
I mean, I went first thing, Grateful Dead concert, comedy, and then
How was the Dead concert in New York?
it was so
It
good.
was good.
I
Oh,
heard
yeah.
they did Shakedown Street the night that you were there. I'm
Yeah.
so fucking bummed.
It was so great.
I'm happy
Yeah.
for you, but I'm sad for me.
Yeah.
We got to win tickets to the San Fran final tour.
Okay,
Okay,
how do we
the
win 'em?
final one.
I don't know when it is.
What do you have to do?
Yeah.
Take your pants off?
Yeah, you take your pants off and you show your wings.
Your weens.
I got told to show a little fucking class.
Oh, so he comes in. Bless you, Rox. That was
Bless
a
you.
mousy sneeze. So he comes in today and he goes, someone told me to show a little class. And I was like, when we were in New York, fans are coming up telling people to show class. And I was like, oh, but it wasn't a fan.
No.
Tell
Random person?
No, tell the story.
We're in Central Park. I was doing some man on the street stuff for this other show. I'm doing above board TV. Above board.
That was not disgusting.
Yeah. Anyway, and
Look at him try to plug it.
there's some stuff coming out. Oh, I'm telling you, I did some hilarious shit, and I'm really proud of it. And I want to. I'll tell you when it comes out.
You should.
But anyway, I've got this tiny little pink microphone. Did you see that thing I did? And I'm trying to get interviews from people. And I'm like, oh, check it out, Jazz Man. You want to do an interview? And he just turned his back to me. And I go, I guess Jazz Man doesn't want to do an interview. Guy playing a sax in the park. And he goes, well, if you showed a little fucking class and tipped, maybe I'd be in your interview.
Did that make it onto the actual thing? Oh, okay, great. Yeah.
So we'll just blur his face out. There's a thing in New York where actually you can put anybody, like if you're in public, you can be filmed.
Right.
Like there's no, you don't have to
depends
get
on where
released.
you are.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you show up in the park and look, the squirrels have fucking cameras. The cops have them. The hot dog vendors have them. Because you never know, the hot dog vendor, he takes a little break to take a shit and whatnot, and somebody comes in and does something to his water. You know, next thing you know, it's like a mutant lizard running around then taking over the city. We need Spider-Man. And Spider-Man's not real, but the lizard is. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
got a flaffle.
He's got a
Flaps.
He's flaccid.
It's weird that there are different laws in different states.
Yeah. No, it really,
It's just weird.
yeah, it is. It is.
You got these two New Yorkers talking about lizard creatures. Roxy goes,
I have to fix
It's weird, the
Roxy's
different-
shot. Keep it on her.
all right, keep it on, Roxy.
I just think it's weird because, like in some states you can record a phone call with
Yeah.
one party consent. In some states you can't.
Right.
And then in some states you can film somebody.
Some
Some states
can't.
you can't. And you don't know where. In Massachusetts, you can have sex with somebody who's 16.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting.
I know what you're saying.
I'm just saying that's so bizarre. And then you drive over state lines and then you can't. Like,
Yeah.
why in the whole country is the one?
I don't know.
One
It's- yeah,
nation.
it's under everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of stuff going on here today, guys. But yeah, we were in New York. We had a good time. That was a couple weeks ago, but still, it was.
I wish I was there. I have
But
FOMO.
it was good. And I'll tell you, there's two things. Both Brett's brother was mad at me, and I'm convinced that his wife doesn't like me.
In New York?
In New York, his brother got mad at me, but I'm convinced in general that his wife doesn't like me.
Why?
It's like every time we invite them to things, they don't want to come.
What happened? Is this a 4th of July thing? Or is
Yeah.
it-
4th of July, they had RSVP'd to say, yeah, we'll be here. And then
Oh,
now we're
you
going
didn't
out of
come
town.
yesterday?
No, this is what happened. And I knew I was going to get shit about this. I was going to go
He
to
didn't come at all.
I was
No,
going to go to
no.
Nebraska.
Let him, he can defend himself.
Right, and that trip got canceled. So then my wife made plans with her friends that we've been doing 4th of July with since my kids were babies, and actually before.
But you did say you weren't doing that this year.
Yeah, I
Because
didn't.
you were going to
I didn't think
Nebraska.
so.
Right.
And then she lined it all up, and I'm like, oh, well, we were gonna do the.
Man, she said, I don't want to do that. I don't like him.
Well, no, it's the kids. The kids, they grew up with our friend's daughter, so it's like, I'm
Blame
going.
it on
Hey,
the
you want
kids.
to go
It's
with?
like Ted Cruz over here.
Do you want to go to a party with a
Wait,
bunch
the
of strangers?
Kids grew up with your friend's daughter.
Kids,
Oh, I'm with
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You follow. I like that you followed that eventually. I like that it connected.
It's
like
my
Joey.
goddaughter.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, we've been doing 4th since they were babies.
I've been to those parties.
yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't invited this time, though.
No, Brett doesn't invite me to.
Well, they're in Pasadena.
But that has nothing to do with anything.
Pasadena's far.
It's
Yeah.
far.
It's
Doesn't
rough.
do
It
with a
changed the
lot.
whole game plan. But no, it's not that. It's again, hey, you want to go to a party with a bunch of strangers or hang out with your friend that you've known since you were babies?
To the kids.
Yeah,
Which again, it's like that's what Ted Cruz did. He blamed it on the kids.
that's what you
Remember
do.
Where did,
that? It was when they had to go. Then there was like the storm, or whatever, and he took the kids away to. When he should have been.
out of
And
state.
he-
that was
and he blamed it on the
Yeah,
kids.
Yeah. I blamed it on my
Don't be
kids.
political. I didn't say anything about politics. It's just,
No,
it
my
just happened
kids
to be the
made me
person that
miss
did it.
everything too.
Yeah,
They did. Is that the reason why
Yeah.
you weren't here?
I wasn't
yesterday?
here because of my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, because little Jenny.
Well, who knows
was
how hammered you got last night?
diarrheaing, and then little Bobby.
Oh,
was
little Bobby.
Yeah.
Not well. You know,
Yeah.
he was acting up.
What's any
He's not been
prospects from
sleeping
yesterday's?
recently. For kids?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Listen,
you
yesterday
didn't
was,
on that little little tripod you were doing? You couldn't jump on one of those fellas, or
Tripod.
your little pyramid?
Oh,
They look like some attractive
Instagram?
gents.
Oh yeah, they're gorgeous. Those are my homies. I love them.
So, tripod.
Tripod. I mean,
Fuck is wrong with
You,
you?
you couldn't get a little Eiffel Tower with those two gents, or
oh, something's wrong with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been away from my wife for a few weeks.
It'll do it.
This is what happens when like.
Eiffel Tower.
I think I'm like the girl that's always friends with all the guys, and then they're all my friends.
That's tough. I don't get. I honestly, I've said it before. I do not get that, because if you just said like, "Hey, do you not want to be friends anymore?" I guarantee. Like, do you think it's something?
Yeah, but that's the problem. I think she's probably also, because they're so locked in now to being friends,
Yeah.
she doesn't
Yeah.
see them that way.
Like the guys I was with yesterday, one of them, we grew up together back east. Like,
Yeah.
it's like forever. And so we just don't look. It's like that sibling
You
relationship.
can you both admit you're both attractive, but
but it's just
there.
not to each
I
other.
get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
So
a
I feel like
movie
that's all my
romance.
friends.
That's like a.
It doesn't work that way.
So the
Movies are
there's-
fake, bro.
This one guy,
What if he took off his glasses, and then you'd be like, "You've been right there in front
some
of me this
movies
whole."
are fake. Some
That's
movies
true.
are real.
Documentaries.
I had 2 women last night ask me if I was a porn star. I was
Really?
very honored by that question. Yeah, because how do you answer when people say, "What do you do?"
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yesterday I actually did get that question. My mother-in-law was talking to her friend. She's like, "I have the hardest time telling people what you do." And she's telling her friend, I go, "Nobody knows." And I walked away.
It's hard to answer. So like oftentimes I'll try not to sound arrogant, and then I sound really pretentious. So I'll say something like, "I'm on camera." And then I
That
sound
sounds worse.
cagey, and then they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Oh, like I'm talent," and that's the worst.
Yeah.
So then they
So what are you
think,
doing? Showing your asshole?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it sounds
Yeah.
like. But what am I supposed to say?
Show my asshole. That's what you should have said.
I show my asshole.
Yeah,
That's
anything.
the only answer,
Yeah.
by the way. When next time someone says, "What do you do?" I show my asshole, because it's so like vague, and it's
Yeah.
like
Is it vague? I feel like it's very specific.
not
No.
necessarily.
Who
For
are you
what?
showing
What do you
it
show
to?
your
Where are
asshole
you
for?
showing it?
Well,
Maybe it's your inner asshole. Maybe it's like your actual asshole. No one really knows.
Oh, you don't mean not a literal asshole.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah.
I show my
your
asshole and
showing.
then walk away. But don't say anything else.
Yeah.
I show my asshole and then turn and walk away. Sometimes you can turn with a smile. Sometimes you can turn matter of fact.
Sometimes just give him a
Right. To the camera. Bro.
show my asshole.
Right.
No, I was just on one yesterday. I was on.
Right.
It was a bender.
How'd you respond to that, though? Stick with the porn star stuff.
Well, that was kind of the end of it. Then they say, "Oh, are you in porn?"
And what'd you say?
No.
Straight up asked you if you were in porn.
Yeah, because I think it sounds weird when I say I'm on camera, I'm talent. I
Right.
sound like I'm like fucking hiding something. Not that porn stars
You
need to hide
understood the
anything.
reason they asked.
Yeah, and this has happened to me forever. Where the way I phrase it, I don't know how to like when I tell people like I'm a host and an actress. It's like.
Right. Who else? Who isn't?
Yeah,
this
totally.
town.
So
Right.
it's just like I don't even. Most times I start with I'm in the entertainment industry, and
Right.
then they ask more questions, and it's like,
Whatever.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So that's why. So they both asked if I was a porn star. I said
Okay.
no, but thank you.
Oh, that's fair.
I,
So you
yeah, I don't think you would ask somebody that if you weren't complimenting them.
or didn't think that they could hang in porn.
You're right, totally.
Right.
So I don't take it. I take
Nor-
it.
I don't think you
as
should
I
take it.
should.
No,
you
I
should
think
get
they
that.
thought you took it. They definitely did. I found that kind of be a rude question a little bit, because I mean, not that being a porn star is a bad thing, but like to just say that straight out, like, "Oh, are you in porn?" Because I mean, were they excited about asking you that?
Like they wanted to ask more like follow-up questions.
Don't you think you would assume? So Brett, you're at a bar.
Yeah.
You ask somebody what they do. They say, "I'm in the industry," and you say, "What do you do?" And they say, "I'm on camera," and you say, "What do you do?" And they say, "I'm talent."
So you're
Are you thinking that are you gonna be offended if they jump to "Are you in porn"?
yeah. So it seemed like you were skating around it, and therefore they just went for it.
I think so.
Okay,
I,
get
think
that.
so.
Follow-up questions, like I'm sure they wanted to ask more, and probably were disappointed when she said no.
Yeah.
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 Because maybe they wanted to ask questions. Maybe they wanted to get into the industry.
Oh, I met this badass girl last night.
Tell me about it.
I'm piecing it all together right now.
Yeah.
She was in the army.
Wow.
You never know
Not
when you
in
meet
porn, though.
people. No, sometimes people lie to you. So I don't know. She was on leave from the army. She's going
Right.
back. She was so dope, so cool. And she like,
she hitting on you?
I think maybe,
Yeah,
100%.
Sounds like it. Yeah,
which was exciting for me. But then
Yeah.
I turned around, she was gone.
she was gone just like that.
Yeah,
No,
just
that's
like
a movie.
that. That was sad.
That's a
for
movie.
me.
Yeah.
She was really cute.
Yeah.
No, that,
Okay,
that-
well, there
my
you
night
go.
didn't end that way.
Misconnections.
Yeah,
Misconnections. But-
totally. Yeah.
So you got shit housed.
Yeah, I got fucking house because the thing about me is that I don't have kids or anybody to go home to. So
That you know
I'm
of.
always that I know of. So I'm always the person if somebody else wants to stay out drinking longer,
You'll do it.
I'm always
Sure.
the one that they ask.
So
because
you're
I have
super fun
no
in
res-
Vegas, is what you're saying.
I'm the best time
Right.
everywhere because I love to go have a good time and I love to drink.
Sure.
Like I love to go out.
Yeah.
So it just ended up where it was like a 50 stop night. I mean, like just she kept going and kept going. We ended up at a pool hall, and I like fuck with pool. I'm pretty decent.
So let me tell you something. Listening to this.
Yeah.
This-
I'm boring you.
No. It just reminds me of like if we would have had this conversation years ago, I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. It just makes me realize that I hated everything you just said. Not
No,
for you.
I get it. Yeah.
Not for you.
I'm kind of over it too, Kristian. But what is my alternative?
100%.
I
Same.
know.
I was playing in the same game. I'm just saying after comparing to what I did last night as compared
So
to
much more fun.
we had a barbecue here. We were hanging out, and it was like a nice 25, 30 person barbecue, right? Good conversations all the way around. By the end of it, it was Riley, his wife, Winston, his girlfriend, me and my wife, and my 2 kids, and we went to the park. And there was tons of people out in this field watching fireworks. First time that the kids really got a chance to see fireworks up that close. Riley took his fucking drone. And when I show you these pictures, I'll play some of it on the video of how close we were just watching it. He took his drone, and I want to get the footage, and flew it right next to where the fireworks were going off. The thing could have blown up easily. You hear us in the background on the Instagram video that I posted, and both my daughter and my wife are like, "Your drone is going to blow up." I can't imagine what this footage looks like. He took it that close. So we were watching. We stayed till like 11 o'clock. We took a Rumple blanket.
Hey.
Took a Rumple blanket. They're
I
not even
could've used
sponsored
one.
today.
I was so cold.
They're not even a sponsor today, but we took the Rumple blanket and we laid on the ground. On the ground, was watching it, and it was just so
Were
relaxing.
these LA
so
official
fun.
fireworks or no?
I think so. Yeah, I think so because it was like the show started at like 9 o'clock, and we were just watching it, and it was awesome, and it was just like to me that was like the most chill July 4th. But I go back to when I was
Totally.
playing in your game, and I was like, I wanted to be out until 2 in the morning.
What you're doing though is what I want to be doing, but you don't want to be doing it until you got
the
your
right person.
Yeah,
but,
it's just like.
But it's the same thing, guys, and it's the same thing. Guys and girls are so different. Like you had so much fun last night.
I had so
right?
much fucking fun.
Right.
I had
See,
so much fun.
I could have had the same at your age. I could have had the same night you did. Same experience, having that much fun, but would have been a bust for me had I not gone home with somebody.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because to me it's like guys and girls are just. I mean, in that, and I'm not saying.
Yeah,
that,
yeah. I get what
you
you're
know what I'm saying.
saying.
Like you didn't need to go home with anybody. You had a good time with your friends. You left around. I'm like, shit.
Yep.
Didn't go home. Woke up alone.
We were always chasing tail.
Yep. And yeah.
Speaking of chasing tail,
yeah, go ahead.
our sponsor today is Trail Tasers.
Tail chasers.
What do they sell?
Tell us.
Well, it's Trail Tasers. Tail Chasers.
No, Trail
sells,
Tasers. You're right. Trail Tasers.
Pheromone spray. It's a pheromone spray for the men out there that are a little. You might not have your game be on your game, but you want to release that scent of a man for the ladies, and you go pick it up. You can use code BIGTHING, thebigthing.com.org.com.
Oh.
Let me tell you that New York City, more like New York Shitty. Hey, had a pretty good set.
That's what I heard.
Hello. My name is Ariana Finkelstein, and I will be taking you through these relaxing meditation movements. Relax your anus while you slip into a deep sleep. Feel the world around you slipping away. But just remember, when you wake up in the morning, you'll still be that worthless piece of shit that you are right now. Oh. The crickets will soothe you to bed and also soothe you right into insanity if you let them. Whoa!
This is
Good job, Brett.
insulting to my people for her to be a Finkelstein.
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
Finkelstein works for me.
Finkelstein.
Works for me.
That was rude.
It was rude. Anyway, so
Speaking of insulting your people,
yeah, look, don't insult your people. Shave your balls. Both Manscaped and AG1. We are going to jump into our real sponsors here. Give you both AG1 and Manscaped. I want to tell you about both of them. Here you go. Our next partner is AG1, the daily foundational nutrition supplement that supports whole body health. I drink it every day. I love it. And I gave it a try, honestly, because Brett Sheridan told me to. And I'm glad that he did because it's so good. I love it. It tastes good, too. And it's not, I'm not a big vitamin person. I know that. You know that at this point. But to take them all in one shot, put it in a water bottle, shake it up, that's it. I drink AG1 before my coffee. And I take it gives me a little boost of energy, and then I'm ready to go. And it makes me feel unstoppable. I am ready for the day. I love it. It's really great because I'm telling you, it was very hard for me. Everyone's like, you got to take this vitamin, you got to take that, you got to do supplements. You got to no, thank you. Give me one. Everything. One shot, done. And it tastes good. Might look green, hence AG1. Tastes yummy. I'm always looking for life upgrades, which is why I've come to love and trust AG1. That's why so many of you trust AG1. That's why I get notes all the time. You guys are trying it. Just did it. Love it. Re-upped. Doing it again. I keep getting it over and over and over, and that's why they've been so associated with this show. It's delivered to you every month. It's been very easy, super easy to make it a daily habit for me. And get those travel packs. I'm going to be going on the road soon, and I'll be taking that with me. If you want to take ownership of your health, try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. You have to go to drinkag1.com/bigthing. That's drinkag1.com/bigthing. I'm telling you, man, you guys aren't using Manscaped. You do it a disservice to the people around you and the people that you love. It's the best. It really is. There's so many different products at this point, not just your ball bags, but so many different things. Manscaped is the only men's brand that is dedicated to below-the-waist grooming, and they've perfected their game with the Lawnmower 4.0. We've talked about the 4.0 many times. We talked about the beard trimmer. We talked about the nose clips. They have so many different things. They have a body wash. They have everything. If you don't have Manscaped, what are you doing? Now, people are going to ask, what about the lawnmower? Why is it so different from other trimmers? Okay, Harloff, you talk about it all the time. What's so different? The upgraded trimmer includes a multi-function on-off switch that can engage a travel lock. It's a great feature if you travel a lot. It also gives you the ability to turn on the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. You can shave your balls in the dark if you wanted to. That's always fun. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim through additional guard lengths with sizes 1 through 4. I'm telling you guys, this is next level stuff. And a lot of you have already tried Manscaped through us, and I hope that we'll get a lot more. We have a lot of new listeners these days, a lot of new viewers these days. Well, I talk about Manscaped all the time. Hopefully, it's the first time you're hearing about it, and hopefully, you listen and you check it out. If you want to get 20% off and free shipping, go to manscaped.com. Use that code BIGTHING. I'm telling you, this is a gift for yourself that you'll never go back. Don't use those crappy razors that you get at the store. Like, just gonna re-up this. Just get yourself Manscaped. Trust me, you'll love it, and you're gonna thank me for it. All right, as I've told you many times over, guys, you help the show out tremendously. Roxy, I got a bunch of people who over July 4th, I was getting tweeted out. They were purchasing Manscaped, AG1, everybody, and they were like, that's how they're supporting the show. So it's been fantastic. It's been working out, and you guys continue to do it. Because people ask all the time, how do you do? Because you do live streams a lot, right? So super chats and those things that supports the channel. We don't really do that much here, and so people are always asking how to support the show. Support yourself. Get yourself a sponsor, whether it's AG1, Manscaped. You can't go wrong. Someone got both the other day. They said, I got both. So, and tweet me. Tweet me and let me know. We're right here. Let me know that you did it. Use that code. That's what helps us, and they'll keep coming back. All right, should we actually talk about some stories?
sure.
Why not?
We can try.
We can try. I don't know if we're going to get to it today. So the thing is that, how do you feel about all this Indiana Jones stuff?
So when you said that in the intro, I was like, what is he talking about?
It's eating shit. It's like the movie cost $300 million to make. It made I'll tell you what the box office is on it right now, as of the holiday weekend or whatever. It's it doesn't help that it's like, go see the movie Thursday, Friday, Saturday, go back to work on Monday, then go see it on Tuesday, and then go back to work. It's like, Indiana Jones, and I think on Monday did 12 million. So overall, right now, this is as we're taping this on Wednesday. It cost $300 million to make. It's made $130 million.
Oof.
Without the marketing, 300?
Without the marketing. So it's probably has to make about close to 500 at least to break even. At least.
That's very bad.
That's very bad. And it's going to be as bad as The Flash.
Here are my thoughts.
Go ahead.
I didn't dig this movie like you guys did. So
Oh no, I
No,
felt
remember-
attacked by your post.
Yeah, that's true.
the older
for
guy.
old
part.
guys.
Yeah.
I didn't say that, but my older guy. I said my friends who are men who are older love this.
I wouldn't say love, but I'd say
Like
enjoy.
even
Enjoyed.
my brother. I am not
Yeah.
calling him old. Like he's 2 years older than me.
Right,
My
but
brother
he
liked
enjoyed it.
this.
He enjoyed it,
this.
yeah.
And it was okay. This is too long, so
agreed.
it's having a hard time making they can't even show it enough because it's so fucking long, and it doesn't have good press around it right now.
Agreed.
And
And it cost $300 million.
and it cost $300 million to make. And kind of when you give me that figure, I watch this movie and I'm like wondering what cost $300 million.
The end alone costs way too much money. And I'm people, if you watch yesterday's show, they're going to be bored with me saying this, but just so you know where I'm coming from. The Indiana Jones movies in general have always had big swing, mystical things happen in every one of them.
Oh, that end. I thought you meant the like.
Not at the very, very end,
Yeah.
but the kind of climax of the story.
Yeah, I get it.
And in the Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade, there's a mystical thing that happens where Indy's got to go through these things where he's got to the little games, if you will, or he's got to
A penitent
the
man.
penitent man must pass, and he's got to jump over.
What?
The penitent man must pass from the third. But these little things that are happening that he's got to do, like basically little quizzes, or he's going to die, but he's got to do it. It's like, in 1989 probably cost money, but not enough to where it's on set, practical.
Yeah.
And then he walks into the cave, and there's this old knight. It's been there for 1,000 years, whatever the hell he's been. And the music swells, and he's like, he chose poorly. It's not a big, huge, over-the-top CGI fest. It's just a powerful moment that worked, and they threw at least $50 million, at least, into this ending scene, which is crazy town.
Of the new one.
Of the new one.
Yeah.
Crazy town that they did this. And it was like, and so that, the
And
second,
it's most people's least favorite part of the movie.
it's definitely mine.
It's just like to spend all that money on something that nobody's talking about. Like, oh my God, you have to see it for this moment.
Right.
That's
Right.
brutal. That's brutal. This is hopefully this is a lesson to Hollywood though, because they're seeing what's happening with The Flash, they're seeing what's happening with this, they're seeing what's happening in movies right now, and the budgets on these movies is just it's
They're
ridiculous.
So ridiculous. It's like, but no, they won't learn. They won't learn because the reason why, and I was talking to Alonzo Duralde about this, because it's the greed
How
behind
come
it.
he never knows who I am?
It happened again?
Like every time I'm hi.
Really?
I don't get it. I gotta make a better impression on him. What do I do?
I'll send him this clip.
Okay.
I'm gonna send him this clip.
I just like him and
He's
want
the
him to know me.
coolest. I love Alonzo Duralde.
Every time I see him.
He's the only person that I get sad if I don't talk to him at a screening.
He was sitting behind you
Yeah.
at
Mission
Mission Impossible,
Impossible,
and
yeah.
I was sitting in front of you, and I
just-
turned up and I waved, and he just nothing back.
I want to go.
And this is not me to out him
No, I know what
about
you're saying.
like I just want him to like me.
I'm sure he does. Again, he's very focused on watching the movie, doing his thing, and because he wrote his holiday book also. I want to go to like one of their Christmas parties. Like he's
Oh,
just
yeah,
someone
the-
that I just feel like he's like someone you want to be around during Christmas.
Yes.
but he's so great.
Step one, get him to notice.
Get
me.
notice you first. But where did that come from? Where were we talking about? How did I start?
You said that you were talking about why the movies won't make it different.
Yes. So why the movies won't make money,
Yeah.
and he saying it too, is because the problem is that instead of, and we were both on the same page that they should scale down on budget, put in a lower budget, like you look at like John Wick, right? John Wick's like 125, 130, whatever it cost to make the last one, and it made like $400 million overall. That's a big, massive profit. But then you look at something like Black Adam, which made 500 million or whatever it did, but it cost like 300 or 250 to make plus the marketing, so it barely broke even or whatever it did. So wasn't worth the swing. Because these studios, what they do is because they were so tied up in the Marvel craze during like when they were really every superhero movie was making like $1 billion, right? And they're so caught up in the fact that And even Fast and the Furious was making $1 billion, and Jurassic World made $1 billion. They're like, if we put in this money and then we can make $1 billion. The industry is not working like that right now at all. And because Avatar just did it and Mario just did it. Yeah, but it's not. How much money did Mario cost to make? Yeah, I bet you not $200 million. How much money did the Super Mario Brothers? That is a question.
I think it probably did cost $200
Let's say
million.
Super Mario Brothers.
You think it's less than 200 mil?
Yes.
I think it's 200 mil.
I say 150. $100 million is the budget.
Wow.
$100 million.
Good job,
They made $1
team.
billion.
Wow.
That's my point. That is my point. And even Across the Spider-Verse, like 120 to make.
Yeah, but you've been hearing about all that.
Yeah, I know the stuff behind it, but whatever it might.
What? I haven't talked about movies or
You know,
television in a
bit.
week and a half.
I know, but
I don't know what you're talking. What's the stuff?
the VFX artists were. It's the thing you sent me.
Oh,
the
yeah.
VFX artists have just been like
You sent it.
not Across the Spider-Verse, but he sent me something about the Flash, where there's this guy on
Oh.
Instagram that was basically I worked on it, and the studios basically they overworked the VFX, but they don't give a shit about the movie. They care about all right. We have X amount of shots that we need to make happen. And they send out the bids to the company, and the VFX company that says we can get it done these many shots with this budget in this amount of time. They get the job,
Yeah.
and that's what they do to these companies. And then because of it, the VFX artists are run into the ground.
Yeah.
Because of it, and that's what has been happening. And one of the main reasons is because they go for these $300 million budgets when it's like scale the fuck back.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that the Mario movie was only 100 mil. That's great. I mean, not only. But Joker was like 70 mil or
Yeah.
something, right? Made $1 billion.
Yeah, but those are smaller budgets for big budget movies now.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what you should do, because the problem is what they do is they think, oh, let's throw a little extra money in it and not worry about the story itself and the characters itself, because if they threw more story and stuff like that into it, like, oh, people they don't trust the audience's attention span. And I understand in the TikTok age, I get it, but you've got to, like, it is like, I'm an Indiana Jones fanatic, you know that.
Stan.
Yes. I would have fired whoever brought in this movie cost $300 million to make.
Yes.
That's crazy.
What about, didn't Everything Everywhere All at Once, wasn't it like $35 million to make or something?
Right. That's exactly.
I just don't
Great
understand how you can make a movie like that for that budget, and then you need a $300 million budget for an Indiana Jones movie. Like, we all saw that movie and saw what it looked like.
Yeah.
It's just, did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I didn't. And I honestly, I didn't feel
25
attacked.
million.
I know.
25 million, by the way.
It's just crazy.
I think
like-
everybody should have seen it with John Williams and an orchestra opening before him, because you kind of forget about everything when you're.
Yeah.
It was my first premiere. It was my first. Been like I was
Everything
in a
Everywhere All at
zone.
Once?
No, the Indiana Jones.
John Williams was performing everywhere.
Yeah.
All.
No,
Well,
the
but
Indiana-
I was.
I thought
asking
you asked me if I
had
liked
seen-
that one. No, I haven't seen Everywhere All at Once, and I'm bummed that I haven't seen it in the theater, because I know that would have been a.
Yeah, I think it's wild. It looks amazing. What some people maybe don't like the story or whatever. I loved it, obviously, but I just think it looks incredible. It looks like a Marvel movie, and it's $25 million budget. I don't get.
Well,
But it could have.
It's
gone to
cast.
shit,
it's
too.
film.
I mean, like,
it could have,
you know.
but 25, and they didn't know what kind of wide release it was going to get, and what. But yeah, I mean, I just wish they would scale back. And as I always talk about Terminator, man, like the new, like I hope that the problem was with James Cameron is, because apparently James Cameron has a new take on Terminator, he would do it when he would have the time to do it, because he's going to be working on Terminator for the next 10 years, whatever. Avatar, excuse me. His take would probably be big again, because look at his budgets with Avatar. I just want to see like the old school Terminator 1 vibe, where it's like, or like Prey. I keep using Prey as an example, and go to like a $60 million budget for Terminator and focus on the story and focus on, like, don't worry about the big. It's a Indiana Jones thing. It's like the end of it. They build up this thing like, well, we don't trust enough of how we feel, so here's this big ending.
Yeah.
And here's this big, like, it's a like, I don't love the ending at all. I've said this since the beginning.
But people love the ending.
The last scene.
The
is
last
fantastic.
scene, and that's the heart of.
That's what makes you. That's what you
That's
leave
probably
with.
the cheapest scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was the
Yes.
heart of this whole thing, and that was the way to end it. But yeah, I totally agree. Like, you could have just. I mean, it was more about here's this guy. He's at the end of it.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna call an audible here, and I'm probably gonna wind up doing I'm probably gonna lead with this and put it as a thumbnail. Now that I think about it.
Okay, my face is gonna, no matter what it is, this is gonna be my thumbnail face.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't think it will be.
Oh.
Because let's say you change your thumbnail face right now. We're looking into it. You're looking to the camera.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna do this. And we'll actually put this on the thumbnail. This
So
is your
what's
thumbnail.
this?
I'm gonna tell you what it is. Okay, that's that. You stay like that. Stay like that, and I'll tell you what the topic is gonna be now. Ready? Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny spoiler review episode. There you go. Okay, so that's Roxy's thumbnail.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. All right. That's how you feel. So I feel like
That's how I feel.
so basically, for people who haven't seen the movie now, you know, and I.
No, you know.
I said, how you doing now? You know, gonna do spoilers. Hey, hey, I saw a whip. I touched my lip, and I know I'm gonna have some quips about the movie. Now you know. We're gonna talk movies, not a TV show. It's time to talk about old ass Indy and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who everybody loved. Just kidding, now you know. All right.
Oh, they didn't.
Oh, the audience did not.
Really?
That's that
No,
I
the audience
did.
I didn't
I
mind her. I
did.
thought she was fine.
I really like her.
I think she reminds me of Martini. Do you remember Martini?
Yeah, you told me. I think we
Yeah.
talked about that.
That's why. I think
Thought she did
so.
a
I think she
great
is.
job.
She did. She's a great actress. I think she's a bit of an asshole. Her character for
it's
a
just
lot
not
of it.
her fault.
No, it's not. The criticism that I agree with is that she is kind of a turd for a while, and
That's
then out of
that's the
nowhere,
writing. Yeah.
absolutely the writing. She did what she's supposed to do, but she's a turd for a lot of, and then it's like, hey, don't be a turd anymore. Okay,
Yeah.
like there's no really reason behind it. But anyway, the point is,
Completely that.
yeah, we'll get into this now. So for those people who are like, people had asked me to do a spoiler review of Indiana Jones, and I was like, I don't know who's going to watch it. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it on a big thing. See if anybody watches it. So we'll do spoiler review. This is it. So you can do time codes also. So let's get into it.
Not enough boobs.
Yeah. Do you know what I said to Brett, by the way, too? I said, hey, do you mind? Because I remembered, thank God I remembered doing this. I was like, do you mind if we did a spoiler review of Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny today? And
What do you think my reaction was?
I don't know, but your daughter is spraying this window with some.
Which one is it? The little one?
No,
Is it the older one? What's she spraying it with?
I don't know.
must be
She came running, spraying, and then saw us and then ran.
Makes sense. Let's tell you what.
Stop it.
Yeah, this is what I deal with.
Sorry.
Listen,
Okay,
you know-
what was your response? You don't remember it?
No, I just kind of was like, didn't register, and I just kind of looked at him like,
Yeah. I was like, do you mind if we do a spoiler review?
I'm like, why would he mind? And oh, he thinks I didn't see it. And I'm like, I went to the premiere with you.
Oh,
Totally forgot that
Yeah.
you saw it. Yeah.
He
And
was thinking that you guys both had seen it. I had not.
I thought I knew that you had seen it, but I forgot that Brett had seen it, and then I realized that that's
wow,
just
very
weird.
not memorable date. Apparently,
Yeah.
you don't put out.
I don't remember anything. So, but anyway, all right.
Yeah,
So we're
okay.
let's get into the spoilers. Overall, the beginning of the movie, to me, what I loved about it was because going into this movie, you got to remember, I'm going, are we getting Crystal Skull here again? I was like, probably not, because it's Mangold.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay here.
And we didn't get crystals.
Not at all. To me, this is way better than Crystal Skull. Some people disagree. I think it is way beyond. It's the fourth best Indiana Jones movie, in my opinion. But go in there, and this moment starts, and the moment itself, the writing itself, the way that it's shot, the music, all of it, it's about as Indiana Jones as you get.
Absolutely. Really cool conceptually.
Yes.
However,
The de-aging whips you out of it.
unbelievably distracting.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like such a cool moment and everything that's happening, you just get right into it. I'm like, oh, this is an Indiana Jones movie. And then every time I see his face in the movie, whatever it is, I'm like,
It's jarring.
oh my
Yeah.
God. It felt like a YouTube video.
Agreed.
And it's like a video game. And it's like, and there are times that like when he's standing still and you just have him where he's just either standing still or sitting and he can just hold on his face. You're like, okay, I see where they're going. Oh, wait, he turned. He turned. It looks, it's not real. It's not real. And I just in my head going, why didn't they use deepfake? Why didn't they use deepfake? Why didn't they use deepfake? Part one.
Do
Part
you think
two.
that they don't think that the audience cares or notices? What do you think is the
I think it goes back to what we were just talking about with the VFX. There's so much that they can do, and how much they can work on. There's probably one team that's working on this, and then I think it's the older generation of producers like, oh, they'll be fine with that. They'll understand. Like, there's only so much we can do. It's like, you guys just fucking did Mark Hamill in Boba Fett, and it looked great. Why didn't you use deepfake? That's part one. Part two. When are they gonna learn? Whether it's Indiana Jones or Robert De Niro in The Irishman, these guys are 80 years old.
Yeah.
They sound and move like they're 80 years old. It's like, oh, come on, let's get off the train. You're like, that sounds like it doesn't. If you're gonna use the AI, use AI. Use the AI voice. Use a young Harrison Ford voice. If you're going to go all in with the tech, go all in. Don't half-ass it.
Why did they even have flashbacks in this?
I thought it was necessary.
You did?
I did. I think
as much as they did?
Yes, I thought it was necessary because I think that
didn't.
Because you were so taken aback from the de-aging.
It set up the dial. I mean, it was that's the whole.
I kind of wish that I would rather him have sat down and told the story to set it up.
Like young Indiana Jones style?
For a 2-second moment, and just get it done with. Because
they've always done flashbacks. I mean, they did that with River Phoenix.
Absolutely, but it added to the length of this movie significantly and didn't look good.
It's hard to argue with the didn't look good part of it because
or the added length to it. It added 25 minutes to
that
this movie.
didn't bother me because it felt, because I was like, I feel, because I know what they're going for and I feel the indie that I loved portion of it. I feel that. It was an homage to the old Spielberg stuff, but it was just jarring.
And I immediately said to myself, okay, you got to accept this.
Right.
And then it was hard, but it was like, okay, you got to accept this. Let's just watch the action sequences. And I thought the action sequences were fun. And I mean, there was
old school sound effects and all that. Yeah.
And I mean, of course, it was like, oh no, his head's gonna get smushed between the train and a rock.
Yeah,
that's
what he always does.
All
He
the
does
stuff.
the
hat getting pushed down, and so I had fun with that. But I think, like you said, if you did the deep fake on it, it would have been 100% better.
Well, Mike also said it yesterday on yesterday's show, is that if you're going to do an old nostalgic movie like this, shoot it like an old nostalgic movie. Like the modern day filmmaking portion of how they tried to do it with a lot of the filmmaking isms, the certain ways that they almost tried to shoot like a Marvel movie or a DC movie a couple times throughout this movie with the over amount of CGI and all that, not just for the de-aging, which if you're going to go that route is necessary, obviously, but like just certain things that they were doing. It's like, no, scale it back, go old school and cut out $100 million, and even 200. If someone was this movie cost $200 million, like whoa. But anyway, so they set up the Dial of Destiny stuff. They de-aged Mad Mikkelsen as well, which I thought looked better than Indy.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
Too distracting for you.
He was distracting, but also I think that Mad Mikkelsen was wasted in this movie. I don't understand why they didn't. I sound more negative than I actually mean because this movie was totally okay to me. It was not horrible. Right. It was absolutely serviceable, but it's like...
But the potential was there and they didn't utilize it.
Yeah, like, why did he have to have emo hair the whole time, man? Like, why? I don't understand that. And then, like, also, I think it was super lazy writing. We know he's bad because he's a Nazi. All Nazis are bad. However, we didn't actually watch him do much bad shit, except for, like, kind of sit there and be menacing. Yeah. And it's like...
Right. And I also want to know how he survived that fall.
Totally.
Off the train.
Yeah, we don't even address it
at all. Like he wasn't. Like it would have been one thing if he was like hobbling and moving. Yeah. Like he was fine.
No, his face should have been dented. Like if he hit that thing with that speed,
dead. First of all,
dead.
Second of all, the way not only getting hit at that speed, landing on the way that he did.
Like, I wanted to see him take like his glasses, shades off, and there be like something notched.
If you're gonna go old school Bond type stuff, what this was all supposed to be in the first place. But that's my point. You see, like the kind of Marvel superhero kind of stuff where it's like I mean. The villain in Raiders burns his hand, and he's got that he's got that scar at the end of it. It's like that old school kind of serialized 1930s type stuff. But nonetheless, they set it up. They get there, and then we fast forward and we see Indy kind of where he is. And this is a criticism that a lot of people had that I don't share, and that's like they didn't want to see. I think they kind of have PTSD from like what happened to Luke, right? Like Luke's kind of an old grouchy man, and Indy's retiring and just.
I liked that.
I liked that as well. I thought to me it made more sense that Indy would, because it was like an old athlete that just wasn't in the game anymore, and then since then has just not really had much to do.
And it was endearing to me because Indy was never about it for the fame and fortune. So it shows
Fortune
that
and glory, kid.
if you are in it for just getting these artifacts and trying to get them in a museum and stuff, you are going to be an old poor professor.
And
you know,
that's
you're
what-
not going to be.
And I liked that the added kind of sadness of what we ultimately find out happened to Mutt, and we find out, because I would have liked Karen Allen to be in more of it.
Mm-hmm.
And now again that we're doing spoiler, the last scene is the best part of the entire
Yeah.
movie.
Tear to my eye.
It's powerful. It works. It's great. And
Why wasn't she in more of it?
I think because if you asked Mangold, the answer to that question, I don't mean to speak for James Mangold,
Yeah.
but what I would guess is that because that moment was so powerful, because you didn't see her at all, that by the time you get there, it's like there is something also to be said. I think there's a way to say it that you don't come off as, mouth breedy, but I think that there is something to be said about, I wish that Indy would have kind of come to that conclusion on his own that he needed to come back instead of getting punched in the face
Completely.
by the new hero, whether it's a woman or a man, who gives a shit.
At
but it's
that point, I was just glad he came back though, because
Right.
there was one moment where honestly I thought we were gonna leave him there.
yeah,
and I
it
was
did,
just
but
like,
it didn't
ugh.
make sense. That was my problem. He has always been, Indiana Jones has always been, don't fuck with history. Make sure that things are put together. Yeah, I want to get it in the museum, but it's like, honor this shit.
Yeah.
Don't look at it, Marion, when he's talking about the Ark. I'm gonna stay here and fuck up time.
No.
He wouldn't do that. And it's clearly to get her to be redeemed, to make sure she gets him back. And plus, how the hell did they lug his fucking ass back up? So it was as you said, a little lazy. It was like, that's why I didn't like the ending, because I'm like, all right, they go back through time, and then it's just like, here's that guy, what's his face? Who's
His buddy?
Archimedes.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the knight from Last Crusade in this, and like that whole thing where it's like the reveal, because the way they were revealing how brilliant he was and all this, and again, it was presented in this Marvel way.
He's also low-key the villain of the movie. I mean, what the hell? He invented this dial only to bring people back to this wartime to try to say, like, what the fuck?
I don't know if that was necessary. I mean, he was trying to figure out because the problem was also the reveal.
Only came back to there. That's
But did
the
you
only
know
place
right
in
away
time.
though, once the watch was there, that Archimedes was, that you knew right away that was going to be when they
Time travel
that
was gonna
time travel.
happen.
It was time travel, but also like, oh well, that watch is clearly from one of our the people that are going back, and it was what's his face, Mickelson,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
So yeah, all of that, like the ending I was not a fan of, but I was a fan of the chasing scenes and the those indie moments, the stuff with Banderas. The water stuff was awesome. The water stuff was awesome. The ocean stuff.
Oh, yeah, I like that too.
The ocean stuff was awesome, and it
Yeah,
was like,
and I like the reading of the, like, when Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character is like, what that means is this, and translating
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
that stuff. I thought that totally worked.
Well, that was the thing. The two pushbacks that I guess pushing back and agreeing at the same time was that people were like, "Oh, well, Indy was never overshadowed by a woman." I'm like, "Well, did you see Raiders of the Lost Ark? I mean, Marion and Allison Doody in the yes, Brett Doody, and in the third movie, and Karen Allen again in the fourth movie. There's always been a strong woman who's been like right there with him to kind of get him on his shit. Like he's always been." But the pushback also was that sometimes it did. I don't think that the movie completely pushed in a perspective that was just her, but I think sometimes he got a little overshadowed. Like there was a couple times I felt like, oh, they're pushing him back a little bit, and then he jumped back into the frame. But it was like there was a couple times that they were doing that, but the argument could be Harrison Ford's 80 years old and he can't carry the movie himself. You know, that's maybe the problem. Then don't do another indie movie.
How did you guys feel about the little kid?
I thought he was fine. I think they try to use him for like a short round type thing, and he was fine.
Yeah. I mean, I forgot there was a kid in it.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, little kid.
He was one of the main characters and didn't add anything to the whole movie for
right.
me. So like
Wasn't
that's
necessary. I don't think
just
you need.
talking
I don't
about
think you
things
needed
to
him.
trim. Just because for me, one of the main problems of this is how long it is, because it feels so long.
Right.
Didn't have that problem with Mission Impossible. Do have that problem with this, where I'm sitting there thinking, how much fucking longer?
Right.
And there was so much to cut, and the whole character I thought could be cut.
Did you immediately think with Phoebe that it was going to be kind of? I thought it was going to go a changing of the guard, kind of. She was going to be the new Indy. That's what I thought.
That's what the rumor was. I'm glad they didn't go that route though. I'm glad they didn't go there.
Well, I would have preferred that maybe than them making her the the strong female lead, like the villain right off the bat.
But she wasn't a villain though. She was like,
But
there was things that she had that I didn't understand her anger issues towards Indy is what I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Like I understood her anger issues towards her dad, but because Indy wasn't around, I mean, it's not
it
her,
didn't
not her
make
dad.
sense. It
No.
felt like stuff had gotten cut out of that because when she then like locks him in with the people that it
Right.
feels like
Yeah,
are gonna
that
kill
was
him, it was
brutal.
like, oh my god, are you the
Right.
worst person on the planet? Why
Right.
did you do that?
Well, that was my point before. Is that like, and then she realizes she shouldn't be doing that anymore. But it's just like kind of like a realization that comes out of nowhere.
I just think it's totally legitimate to not like her character, but to
Right.
think that Phoebe Waller-Bridge didn't do a great job in this feels
Oh, no,
asinine.
she
to
did
me.
exactly what she was asked to do.
And I keep seeing all these posts like she's horrible, and I'm just like, what are you guys talking about? You have a problem with the script. You have
Yeah.
a problem with the character. She nailed this role.
I think that's what they don't realize.
Yeah.
she did such a good job of being an asshole.
Yeah, that you hated.
that you hated her. I mean, she would and then the problem was because of the writing when she's such an asshole in the beginning of the movie that by the time they're like, no, she's not an asshole anymore, and you're like, well, she's still an asshole to me.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you leave the movie blaming it on Phoebe Waller-Bridge, which you shouldn't because she does a great job of it. That's like, but it's again. Indy doesn't want to leave, and so she punches him in the head and gets him back. And you're like, there's no other way they could have done that.
Would it have been too tropey though if she was introduced in a way that was like, oh, she's there to help him to find this. They both want to get
They
it,
should do it
but then
together.
she gets the greed eyes or whatever, and then kind
Well,
of
it's like what happened with again, Brett Don't Lamb, Allison Duty. In the third one is like the way that they tricked you with she's part of it. She's a good guy, and then she turns on Indy.
Yeah.
But the reverse of that, right? That she's working against him, and then they start working together. And again, to reiterate the point, make it smaller, make it more clever, make it those things, and scale it back to like $150 million movie. If and those
Because then it would have
things.
cut even just now, right?
It would be. I mean,
Because what did you tell me it was at 150?
it was at 150 right now, and it would be at 150. It would make it production budget back right now, and plus if it was shorter and it was a scaled back movie and it had
played it more, yeah.
and you probably would have had, depending on how it was done, if you got lucky and it was more critically received by
Better
fans
buzz.
and
buzz.
put the giant guy in there a lot more.
Let's talk about those guys. So the thugs,
Yeah.
the thugs, Mads Mikkelsen's thugs. One of the guys is a guy who's been around a lot.
The really blonde dude?
Yeah. He's
Norwegian something they called him.
But he's been around for a bit, and he's just, he's one of the he's a little bit of a cliched villain in this one. He's just kind of killing everybody in sight, and but he was fine. But the big guy, it was so cartoony, and again, maybe that was the direction of Mangold, which is so bizarre because Mangold's such a great director.
there was that point where he grabs her and it was so over
Dude, he
This
legit
actually
says,
didn't bother me, and I know this is a huge criticism from most people,
Yeah.
but to me at this point, this fit the tone of this movie.
It was goofy enough that
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
fit. There's like the one thing, if anybody ever uses this in a movie, it takes me out of it because it's like the Mortal Kombat thing. He legit says to the kid, "Hey, get over here," and I'm like, "What? Is that real?" He legit says, "Hey, get over here," and he chases and the kid is brutal.
Yeah.
The kid locks the guy up. And the guy was trying to protect him too. He wasn't trying to kill him, and he just locks him. He goes, "You're gonna drown now, you big dumb idiot."
I did kind of feel this is not how they wanted us to feel, but I kind of felt bad for him. When
Me
he did-
too.
I was like, he's
100%.
You killed him. You murdered
You
him.
just murdered that
Yeah.
guy. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't trying to kill
Just
you.
following orders.
He was following orders, and he could have killed you.
Yeah.
But the kid killed him, and like that guy was, and he was. If they should have done that with the other guy.
Yeah,
Because
he was
the
such
other
a
guy was
dick.
killing people left and right, and the big guy might have been doing it too, but I don't really remember. I remember the other guy shooting people in cold blood.
He was clearly going rogue a lot.
Yes,
You know,
and
so
he was an evil kind of Nazi dude. Where I guess like so is the other one by proxy.
But we just didn't see it.
But you didn't see it. The other guy, if he locks, if the menacing maniac guy like smacks the kid around and goes, "One more time and I'm gonna put your brains on the thing," and then the kid kills
Yeah.
him, you
Yeah.
go, "Well, fuck you, buddy."
But in this version, it was just like, wow, this kid is unfazed by just murdering.
Murder.
this guy.
And the kid just gets in a plane and decides he's gonna, and he's flying. Like they set it up that he's done flying lessons or whatever
He says
too,
he's never flown a plane before.
or
so-
something,
so,
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
I
he's
was like-
flying the plane, and then
And the guy's asleep behind him. and
right.
you're just like,
The ending is why it gets more goofy, but still.
Why
so,
are you driving my plane?
mean?
Right. Well, people are going to be asking though too. Well, you guys have these criticisms, not you, but like, what did you like about it? Like I said, if you compare it to like Crystal Skull, to me, Harrison Ford is locked into playing Indiana Jones.
For sure, he's not phoning this in,
No.
which was really nice to see. He cares a lot about this character.
And you can feel it. You can feel it in that, and you can feel the chemistry he has. And the Antonio Banderas, I saw some people like, oh, what a wasted character. I loved what they did. It's like Drew Barrymore in Scream. They had him in the movie. He adds a lot when he's in it. They have this relationship that him and Indy clearly have like this past, and then he dies, and it's like, and it means. And I loved this moment. I love the moment where Phoebe Waller-Bridge is again being an asshole on the boat, and she's like, "Oh, this what you made it?" And he goes, "My friend just died."
Yeah.
And it's like that was real. Like I hate movies when they're like, "Oh, I had this great relationship," and they don't even acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Like Willow.
No, that was
There's this scene. I'm going to spoil Willow now because, and I think I
TV
probably
show?
have before. Yeah, there's this scene in Willow that drove me crazy. Here's this. There's this. Did you watch the show?
No, I watched the first episode. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So there's this old man who was like clearly had been spending time with these kids forever since the day they were born, and he takes them on the mission with them for a little bit, and he's talking to them, and he's kind of like it almost seems like he's like the Gandalf for and these kids, these snotty fucking kids, and he's talking to them, and he's like, you got to make sure you do this, and then he gets killed right in front of him. They don't mention this fucking guy once after. They just let him drop dead. There's not a tear that's shed. Nothing.
I'm so with you. This was one of my favorite indie moments too, when he turns to her, because you realize these things affect him.
Yes.
And she's being a total, for lack of a better word, she's being a bitch.
And she sees it though.
Yeah,
that's
and
what I
she
like.
does, and I like that too.
Yeah.
It was a growth moment for her, and I thought that really worked. But
Yeah.
I also love Antonio Banderas, and I'm never going to be upset with him being on screen.
No, it was so, but I loved that moment. So like, it's moments like that I really dug. It's moments like when and even when she like locks him in the cage and stuff too. Like you did see that old school indie come out where he's knocking the book cages over and all that, and it's like, and I wish he would have been a little bit more pained having to break all that shit.
yeah, that
me
was
too.
Yeah.
me too. Yes, I'm not joking.
Yeah, that bothered me too. I'm
Yeah.
like, but these are all the artifacts, and
That
you're
he's
just
gotten.
like, oh, why don't you care right now?
I would
wanted
like to see him
yeah.
get so mad about that.
It could have
because-
just been as much as a.
yeah, like,
yeah.
right,
I thought that was so weird. It's
Yeah.
so not his character. That's bizarre. It's like little moments, like you said. It's not a line, a facial expression.
Yeah.
How Mangold? You know that. You
it's
know
just
that.
little things like that. Had they added just a little bit of that, like, but that's why I think that I had so many more criticisms inside of the character of Indiana Jones and Crystal Skull, because and Harrison Ford will tell you different, but it just didn't feel like he felt like Harrison Ford to me in that movie. In this one, he felt like Indy. He just felt like an old grouchy Indy that was running around trying to do some stuff, trying to retire, can't. And I love the moment with Sala when Sala's like, one more adventure, Indy, and he's like, and I think though, by the way, that if Jonathan Rhys Davies would have been 15, 20 years younger, he would have been in that position maybe where the kid was, flying the plane,
Yeah.
doing that stuff too. But like, because you need that third person to be able to do that.
Yeah,
because
we needed a character.
you needed a character. I just don't know if that kid was the character, because and then they try to give him more to do or be stronger than the criticisms that they got in Short Round in the past, right? Which I still, watching Temple of Doom, Short Round is still a very strong character when you see what he does. Now it's a
and
little
also
bit
for the time, so
Yeah.
totally different.
yeah,
than this,
totally.
yeah.
But yeah, it's
The
interesting.
score was every time I
Score was
heard that.
awesome.
Every time that we dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, let's go. And there's some cool moments on train.
Yeah.
things
I like the
that.
little car
Chase.
action
Yeah.
sequences and stuff.
I
The
like that
tiny
too.
car.
Yeah, and again, the sound effects, things, the stuff that felt like indie moments. There were some stuff that the humor worked. There was that thing of just like where they were making Indy feel like the annoying old man to like, get out of here, old man. I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people were getting mad with the character. Not really. I mean, they think they were getting mad at Phoebe Waller-Bridge, but it's the character. The character is a shithead. It really is.
She's
for
a little
while.
bit like Fleabag.
Yeah, that's
I think
that's
people
why
piss
they
people off. Yeah, I think so.
But that's what she was hired to do, clearly.
Clearly.
Yeah.
So and look, I still stand by it. I love James Mangold. I can't wait to see his Star Wars movie. Logan is one of the best, to me, superhero movies that has been created in a very long time. And using that movie as an example, that's what's so crazy about this. James Mangold is the fucking king of taking a smaller budget and doing
I know.
like Logan was like I don't even think Logan was $100 million.
If I had shown you this movie Indiana Jones movie, and I had said to you, okay, you don't know who the director is. Guess who it is.
I wouldn't have guessed it was him.
Yeah,
No.
who might you have guessed? If I had said it's either Mangold or Michael Bay, would you have said Michael Bay? Okay.
No. This,
If I
no,
had
because
said-
there's no substance to Michael Bay movies.
And
There was some substance with this.
If I had said Spielberg or Mangold, would you have said Spielberg?
I would have said it was someone who's trying to make a Spielberg movie.
Okay.
That's
I
what
didn't
would've
know. Logan came to my head for some reason because I was thinking of getting back to like the basics and just the character and addressing that, and that's what immediately came to my head. I didn't know that he directed both these, but this could have just been all action, heart, and closing up of a story without all the bullshit, and it would have been a wonderful.
I know.
Like if it just go back to the first film. Just a
something like that.
Practical.
Logan cost $97 million to make,
Yeah.
and it was a smaller, kind of more practical, deep. And you look at Ford versus Ferrari. That's what I thought we were getting when we were getting Mangold, because I love Mangold. Mangold's probably my favorite director right now, and still is. Like I'm not one of these people who's like, well, he made a shit movie. So I don't think it's a shit movie, but he made a movie I didn't love, and
Also,
it
you
was
have no idea whether this was studio him. I mean,
this is true. This is true, but like,
100% studio interference.
all the way through. Maybe so you think it. So I mean, so before we get into TV, and again, I feel bad for the audience sometimes because I know it gets exhausting, but it's a conversation that needs to be had. Like, and I've talked about it, so I'll let you talk about it. How does Kathleen Kennedy survive this?
But what do you actually mean? Like, how does she not get fired right now?
Because don't you think this is now, if you have all these director problems, if you haven't gotten a Star Wars movie off the ground since 2019, you've lost directors here and left and right. The Star Wars movie series, the TV shows have been half and half, and the
She's
audience
still on a major net positive, though,
yes and no,
financially.
yes and no. In where like my argument was always against the people who said this, but there is still merit to it. Force Awakens makes almost $2 billion, whatever it made, right? Last Jedi makes less. Force Awakens makes less, and I'm with you. It still made $1 billion, but it still made less and less and less. And traditionally, sequels are supposed to make more than the last. So the argument still holds up. You still put money in the bank account.
Yeah.
Solo is a bomb, but I blame that on Iger. But this one is really the first big disappointment that's not Star Wars, not everything else, and she doesn't have public opinion with her at all.
No, not at all.
At all. Like, she was trending all over the weekend, and it's like, do you think she's gonna survive through the Rey movie?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. I think just like we're too far into it. That's been set. I'm not saying that's what I think should happen, but I think that is what will happen.
What do you think should happen?
I would like to see her gracefully step away.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Right.
Like, just because at this point, like I've talked to you about many times, PR is not her thing,
Nope.
and I think that would be a really nice look.
I think it's a smart move to do
Yeah,
at this point.
but I don't think it's happening.
I don't think so either. I think her and Iger, they have a good relationship, and I think
Yeah.
Iger's going to stick with her.
I do
but I do
too.
think that now at this point it's on Iger, because like when you've got that much in front of you, it's like, and I said it the other day, it's like it has nothing to do with not liking someone because they're man, woman, whoever it is. It's a matter of saying the coach is not the right coach for the team.
But who knows if Iger is standing by her because these are decisions that he's made, right? Like,
He wasn't
maybe,
there.
Kind of.
I mean, he
for
was there,
like
I guess,
a
when he
couple
greenlit,
months, like,
when they put forward Indiana Jones to let's do it, but like,
who knows if he said $300 million is the budget for this movie?
well, I think that they put it together. Basically, what happens is that they'll come together and go, okay, we do this. Here's the script that we want. In order to do it, we're going to need this, this, and this. And then they basically say to Kathleen Kennedy, we're clocking this into around like 250 plus reshoots, probably going to go close to 3. All right, I'll take it to Bob, or whichever Bob it was, Chapek or whatever it was.
I just think that Iger might not be able to be like, point to her like, this was your problem, when we don't know what he is approved of.
You're not wrong, but I still think though he is the one now to say, you know, I need someone else who's going to bring me budgets that if I do approve it, they're not asking questions like that. Whose fault is this? It needs to be like, who was responsible for this?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that's, and you've got to pay attention to social media too. You have to, and I don't, because now it's not. It used to be like in 2017. It used to be the majority of people going just like the hateful people who just wanted her out because, right?
it's
Now
not
there are
that.
things to point to, a lot of things to point to.
Yeah.
That's why I would just love, though, for her not to get fired. I just want her to be like,
To walk out.
yes, into the sunset and be like, there's so many other pastures, so many places
Right.
for me to go. People would
Right.
be lucky to have me
Right.
on to, it just would be nice.
That's Iger also, though.
Yeah.
That's Iger giving her that opportunity
Yeah.
to do that, too.
Right.
So say, look, let's just say that you're deciding now to kind of... People will smell it if it happens within
Right
the next
now.
month.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Indy just ate a pile of garbage, and then you're gonna walk off, and they let you do that.
But imagine if she took ownership of that.
No,
I know,
Come
but
on.
I'm just saying PR wise, like
Right.
if I was her publicist right now, I think I would say we miscalculated some things. And I think that at this point, there's a lot of places that I'm really passionate about going, and I have a lot of great experience in this area. I would
And this
like
didn't
step-
work.
And this one didn't work. The
Right.
next one will. I learned from my mistakes, and I'm so happy to move forward. I would be like, get it, Kathleen. Like,
yeah, you got a better chance of
I know.
giving Brett the keys to the
no,
castle.
I know, but
next
you
week.
asked what I wish.
I know. You're right. Either way, it's going to be a very interesting turn of events. What do you guys think? What's going to happen there, too? And keep it classy if you can in the comments, too. I know we're all on the same page here, a lot of us anyway. I mean, Roxy, myself, Brett, we're all on the same page. Is that we just think it's time for a new coach. But the question is, do you think we're going to get the new coach? Or do you think they're going to still see if the coach has a couple more championships left with Ray and the Mangle movie coming out with Star Wars and all that? So go ahead, give me your comments. Now we're going to close the show out with some TV. Rox, Silo?
No, yeah,
Oh.
but you know what? Everybody's
What?
telling me to watch this, and the reason you guys all told me to watch Jury Duty, so it's on my list this week. So
So we're
Silo
going-
will be my next week.
Okay, so what do we got first?
Jury Duty.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, you guys know the premise of this show. Did
Yeah.
you watch
Yeah.
it?
I
Brett?
haven't yet. I've heard a
Oh,
lot of great things
This
about
is
it.
so up your guys' alley.
Yeah.
It's so great.
I heard James Marsden's awesome. in
Yeah,
it.
he's amazing in it because he is not like I feel like a lot of actors try to save face sometimes,
Yeah.
and he is willing to look like
an asshole?
jackass, and
wonderful.
it is so great. So the premise for those of you guys
Apple?
who don't know is on Freevee, which is an
Oh,
Amazon.
yeah, I know what it is. Yeah.
an Amazon streamer, so
Yeah.
it's free with commercials,
Yeah.
and they told everybody they were shooting this documentary about being on jury duty, and then they cast all actors except for this one guy, and this one guy thinks he's genuinely doing
The Joe
a
Schmo show.
documentary
Yeah.
on jury duty. And then James Marsden is on the jury,
Yeah.
and there's other people.
Does he recognize Marsden?
Not at first.
Okay.
And then James Marsden's like, The Notebook, Sonic, like, it's
Hilarious.
amazing. And James Marsden is so great in this. Everybody is so excellent in this. The guy responded to a Craigslist ad for this, like to be in this jury duty doc, and he is so endearing. James Marsden said, "I'll only do this if we never are intentionally trying to make this guy look like an asshole.
Yeah.
Like he's not supposed to be the butt of the joke. So it's got a lot of heart to it.
Yeah, I heard
It's
some good things.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really, really good. It's a weird format. You've never seen anything like it.
Well, that's not necessarily true, though, right? The Joe Schmo show. Do you remember that show?
no.
Yeah. So the Joe Schmo show was.
But that poor
Is it
guy.
you and Mark Ellis thing?
No. The Joe
No.
Schmo show was basically where they had this guy. I think he was on a reality like love show where everybody was. I think Kristen Wiig is one of the contestants on it, and like making it like it's like a bachelor show, but he is the only one in on it, and to be completely
He's the only one in on
Not
it?
in on it.
not in on.
Oh.
Excuse me.
No, I don't remember this.
And then the other one, which is the best one I haven't seen this, the one you're talking about, but the best one ever is Windy City Heat. Windy City Heat.
A lot of people are saying that it has similarities.
So
to
Windy City Heat was Don Barris. And have you ever seen Windy
No,
City?
no.
Dude, that is so up your alley. I went to the premiere, right?
It's a movie, though, isn't it?
But so Don Barris was working with this guy, Perry, I don't remember his last name. He's known him for years. And you guys.
Nemiroff.
No, but he's definitely not all there, right? And they have him think this whole entire time that it's like this, that his auditions and everything are legit, and he gets cast in this movie, and he's the star of the movie, and they're gonna make this movie around him, and he's on set, and they make the movie, they go to the premiere, like it's this whole thing, like they, and so Dane Cook is like plays like one of the casting directors at one point, and Bobcat Goldthwait is the director of the movie and of the fake movie, and but it's not what you're saying though. He is
rip him, yeah.
definitely the butt of the joke.
Oh, man.
He's
So-
the one I've told. Remember I told the story about at the Comedy Store when the old blue hooker blew this guy on stage at 2 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
That's this guy that got blown. Yeah. You remember that story? I've told you that story. This is this guy, but like,
so this maybe is similar to things that you've seen. It's unlike anything I've ever seen, and the jury duty angle of it, I think, is unlike what you've seen.
And it sounds endearing, which is different.
Yeah, it is. It's just different, and I think it's really good. I think it's worth your time, and it's free for people. So get the Freevee app.
All right, next one.
I guess that's what Amazon's trying to do. Okay, I watched this show called Glamorous. Have you guys heard of this at all?
Absolutely not.
This is a show that's on Netflix, and it stars Kim Cattrall.
Oh, I have heard of this. That was a lie. Yeah.
And the first episode, I was like, gosh. It's basically
Why gosh?
because it's The Devil Wears Prada, but not as high of a budget, not Meryl Streep.
And not as well written.
And not as well written. It's very dramatic, very Gossip Girly. But it's the difference is that the assistant is gay, and like there's a big window into the queer community that I actually think they do a really good job with. There's like a lot of drag shows and a lot of like about the queer community and makeup to that community, which makes it different than The Devil Wears Prada. I actually found myself loving the show by the end, which I was kind of surprised with.
How many did you watch? All of them?
I have one left, and I think that if you're looking for something that it fills that kind of CW type thing,
it's not my thing.
Yeah, no, it's not for you guys, but it's really cute. It's sweet, and like they also make the main character. He's very flawed, and you don't see that a lot in TV anymore, where the main character is the one who's like fucking up his love life. It's usually other people messing it up. So I'm liking this, and I love Kim Cattrall, and
me too.
She's coming on to this other show that
I know what it is.
Yeah, did I tell you guys about?
I read about this, but go ahead.
And just like that, this Sex and City spin-off. What are you calling it? Kim Cattrall, we are 3 or 4 episodes in, and Kim Cattrall is not on it yet. And then I looked it up, and she's only going to be in the last
one
episode.
scene, right?
And so I'm bummed about that. Also, we're supposed to get a big
Aiden.
love interest. Yep, Aiden's supposed to come back, and I haven't seen him yet, so I'm waiting on that. But overall, this show has its moments. If you love Sex and the City, this is worth watching. Sometimes you just want to bang your head through a wall because it's like there's not that much sex anymore, and there's not that much relationship stuff.
But do you think that's also because they're in their 60s?
No, because they killed off. Obviously, there's
right.
different issues with Mr. Big, but
Well, they killed him off before the issues.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They killed him off because they were like, we want her to be able to go out and like do her thing.
Yeah.
And now we're not seeing her really do her thing. So
Right.
I don't think that. And then also Miranda's character. This is something that they did that I'm super bummed about. They put Miranda's character.
Is she a lesbian now?
So she broke up with her husband,
Steve.
who we love.
I remember Steve.
And it was so fucking mean. She cheats on it. It was horrible what she did. To be with this non-binary person who comes from Grey's Anatomy, who I really liked on Grey's Anatomy. On this show, they're kind of an ass. And we're supposed to be rooting, I think, for them and Miranda. But it's like Miranda just cheated on her husband, left her husband. So
Miranda was always an asshole.
yeah, she was. But now they've made the only non-binary character on the show. Like, they want us to like them, and I fucking don't.
Right.
Like, they're mean. And
Well, it's funny because my wife is a massive Sex and the City fan, clearly from how much knowledge I have on it. But like, but it was.
Yeah, when you said Steve, I just got so happy.
Yeah, I know.
You came out with Aiden, Steve.
But I'm telling you, though, the first 2 seasons of that show, Sex and the City, was geared towards men and women, and not just gay men. Like it was geared towards men and women because I remember watching the first 2 seasons of that, going, "Oh, what they're doing here." I watched it in college.
It's great.
It's great. And then as they got towards the other seasons, it became and rightfully so. It became more geared towards, I think, more women and the gay community for sure. My wife loves that show, the first season. The first
Did
series.
she watch and just like that?
So she started to, and she bailed on it because
Yeah,
she
I
didn't
get
love it.
it.
But then, because she heard about the people coming back, she's like, "I'm going to go back and watch it because this was a good marketing tool what they're doing." But I told her because I had read about the Kim Cattrall thing. I go, "She don't like Sarah Jessica Parker."
No.
But they probably unloaded a big truck of money in her thing. So just film a
she
scene.
came out and they said, "What did they give you?" And she said, he asked me, "What will it take?" And I told him what it will take, and they gave it to me.
Wow.
So whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
It is a good marketing tool because it is why most people are back this season. There are moments that make it so great, but then there's moments where I'm just like, God, you could just do this so much better, and I don't know why you guys aren't. And then also, you told me The Bachelorette was on, so I went and watched. I don't know how good the season's going to be.
Okay.
The Bachelorette is really sweet.
She's super sweet, but
Like
she's
her
boring.
a lot.
Boring.
So sweet. Like her. Really actually hope she finds love because super sweet.
Right.
That doesn't usually make for a great show.
No, when she was announced, hey, there's me.
Hey.
When she was announced, we said she's such a sweetheart, and exactly what you just said. That I hope she finds love.
Yeah, I
can't
hope
wait.
she does.
But is this going to be interesting to watch? Now, I don't know. I haven't watched the whole thing. But I don't know. My wife watches every season.
Yep,
So-
I'll keep you guys posted
So she
on it.
seems like she's into it so far, and the guys. It's
There's
always
one guy on this that was so my type that I actually
if you say
feel like
if
I need
you
to find
say the earrings guy, I'm throwing you out of this room.
earrings.
The guy with the 2 earrings.
No, the guy who was like, did you watch?
I watched last.
The guy who's like, why is everybody so tall?
Oh no, that guy. That's the guy who kissed her for like an hour and a half, right?
No.
Oh, I don't know. The tennis pro.
Yeah, tennis pro.
Yeah, the guy who kissed her for like.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
Oh
So I
my
did
god,
see
a
more of
tennis
it.
pro is
Yeah,
tennis
okay.
pro
That-
is my man.
I'm gonna give you that one. But
he is so
the,
cute.
The earrings guy, the 24-year-old earrings guy. Get
Oh,
that,
awful. Yeah, awful.
That guy
awful.
should be on
Okay.
Bachelor in Paradise when that's the only
In
reason
some
he's
gold
there.
shorts.
That's the only reason he's there. But
Tennis pro, hit me up.
That's it. All right, listen. It's the show. Thanks for joining us here today. I appreciate you. Thank you to Roxy Stryer. Roxy, where can they find you? All things at Roxy Stryer. Thanks, Roxy. Brett, where can they find you?
They can catch me outside. How about that?
That's perfect. And for everybody else, man, comments, likes, all that stuff, and find us on the audios. Leave those comments. They help. And make sure, once again, whether it be Manscaped, AG1, please help us out. Help yourself out. Get one of these sponsors. I promise you, if you're like people who are like, oh, I listen to this show all the time, and it gets me through the day. I wonder, what can I do to support? Support yourself. Get one of these things. It helps out tremendously. And our views have been going up. Why? Because you guys want us to be the #1 show in this space, and we can be. Keep helping us out that way. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. All right, for Roxy and Brett, we'll see you later. Peace. Oh, yeah. Wrong song, but that's fine.
I didn't see Roxy today, but hey, that's okay. I know that I'm gonna be here anyway. I put my balls on the floor and I stepped on them because I am a big ball motherfucker.